It's all right, everybody. Welcome to Game 3 of the MSL Finals. Matt here from Matt and Steve SC, along with Frank, aka Frentos, on YouTube. Check out his link in the channel. Be sure to check out his videos. He is the man, and he's Canadian. I guess I'm being a little redundant because that's the same thing. All right, Flash here. Starting off on the top left, we're going to have a cross-position game again. Of course, that last game, shocking a lot of us. Flash seemingly falling behind, and he was falling behind. I had mentioned in that game that basically Flash's drop was pretty much his last chance, and that turned out to be what it was. That was his last chance, and he took that last chance and rolled with it. And rolled over Jaedong's main, rolled over Jaedong's tech, and rolled over his drones with eraser science vessels. And then we had the GG from Jaedong. So it is a one-on-one match here, and we're going to wait and see what kind of tech Jaedong decides to go. Jaedong is scouting in the right direction, which is good for him. We're going to have to see if Flash does the same here. Nope, Flash is going with the science or the supply depot first, so no proxy cheese or anything from Flash quite yet. The map is Odd Eye. This is the map that I believe Flash... No, I'm sorry. This is the map that Jaedong thumbed down. So for whatever reason, Jaedong did not want to play on Odd Eye. And I can bring up real quick as far as the stats before I switch it over to Frank. And it does look like Jaedong is not quite going to go for a 9-pull or anything crazy like that. I would assume more... well, I could say I would assume 3-hatch tech, but on this map it's a little bit harder to hold your 3rd hatchery. Or I'm sorry, we're probably going to see the 2-hatch or the 3-hatch build with just two mineral hatches. Of course, we're not going to see a 3rd mineral expansion go out. Anyways, I'm trying to talk and do stuff at the same time, so before I talk myself into a crap hole, go ahead and take it over, Frank.
Yeah, so again, we are seeing the standard wall in here coming from Flash. Flash is probably going to go for that standard build, and I honestly think that throughout this series, if it does go 3-2 in either direction, I think Flash is going to come out with the exact same build order every time. I think it's just ingrained in his like little microprocessing chip that's in his mind that like you just can't do anything else. There's no such thing as mech. There's no such thing as like BBS even. Like, there's just nothing other than this build, and we're going to see the command center come up any second now. The SCV is waiting. He's waiting. How trippy would it be if he threw down a barracks in that position, though? He just sits there waiting to throw down the command center, throws down a barracks just to throw everybody off. But, yeah, so we are going to see that, and that 3rd hatchery is up for Jaedong now as well. Spawning pool coming up. So, again, it's 3-hatch before spawning pool, so this is going to be the exact same thing as last time, and with this... this map and how far the distances are, I think this is going to favor Flash. Just seeing how that game went last time, that's absolutely the only thing I'm going on here. Because, again, I said in my predictions on the SC2GG forums that the only way that you can call this is by some divine intervention coming over you. Is just, you got to call it by something, just by some feeling. You can't call it by statistics. You can't call it by skill levels. But both of these guys are just phenomenal in their skill levels, and all their build orders are just completely perfect and mapped out. So I think just based on the way that last game went, probably in Flash's favor. Could be completely wrong, and I would absolutely love to see Jaedong do the exact same thing as last time like he's doing now, but come out ahead. Maybe he'll just skip the Guardian tech, because I did want to point out that did waste a lot of gas for him last game. But we're going to have to see, and this SCV scout is getting all the information he needs. He did spot out that 3rd hatchery, which I think Jaedong might have been trying to hide. And a Marine now, wow, a Marine coming up all the way across the map to do some harassment here. If he picks off one drone, it would be effective and worth it, but he hasn't done that yet. Jaedong multitasking really well, microing that drone away and picking off that Marine. So interesting little choice there. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but it is Flash. He can do whatever he wants, and he's probably still going to win. So we're going to have to see, though. This is the same thing as last game, but I don't know. Maybe it's the same thing. I can't call it any other way.
Well, just to synchronize it a little quick, Frank, I think you're actually a little behind what I am seeing and recording right now. They just are showing the hatchery going to lair. So just, I'm not sure. I am on the Ustream channel viewing right now, so I don't know if it's maybe lagging because you're on like 8 different streams.
I actually made a mistake. I was just watching the live stream. I didn't even realize it till you said it.
I see. You're watching the ST2GG stream. Okay. Well, either way, I want to correct what I said. I realized this, but you were talking. The Odd Eye is a 2-player map, so obviously they both scouted in the right direction. And Cirque or S1RK, actually, he chatted me, so I'll just give a shout out to him, even though it is something that I did realize. And we didn't do the map analysis before. There's the spire going up. Normally we do that, but we forgot to do it this time. So. So Odd Eye is, it's a odd little map. It's one of the maps where it is symmetrical, but not, obviously being a 2-player map, not perfectly symmetrical down the center. So it is a little bit different in that respect. Comsat going up right now. We are going to see the Mutalisk coming up here in a moment, but right now Flash is going to be well prepared, of course. We already saw the Engineering Bay going up very, very early, most likely to probably get an early +1 for Flash when he does eventually move out. Interesting here seeing the lack of boost. That's just throwing me off a little bit. That's kind of what they did back in the old days of StarCraft. They used to not have booths and just kind of have the players head-to-head. We do see the top right expansion going up, and of course Flash, being Gosu, I think is heading right towards it here, and yes, I think that is what Flash is going to do. He probably already scanned it. That was probably his first scan with a Comsat. I would not doubt it. But it looks like Jaedong coming up as well has a decent numbering of Zerglings there, but it's not going to be enough to take out this force, of course, with the medic along. So Flash is going to be able to go up and harass this base. And again, I mean, Flash is just so good. That was probably his first scan. He scanned the top right. He's been practicing for that. He knows that Zerg tries to get that kind of more distance expansion, something that Jaedong likes to do especially. Oh, but a possible counterattack trying to go, and a surround by Jaedong coming in here. Beautiful surround by Jaedong with his Zergling. He's going to be able to take out that entire force. That absolutely pimp microing there by Jaedong, completely surrounding. Obviously not going to be able to take out the rest of the forces, but it's interesting because Jaedong doesn't have Mutalisk out on the field yet, able to effectively use Zerglings. You can see he actually wasn't even building. He's going quick tech to Hive here. Queen already up. So Jaedong, what do you have under your sleeve here? Are we going to see a quick Defiler play and then maybe a focus on like Lurker Ling play or maybe Mutaling play with the Swarm? I'm not sure, but Jaedong is feeling comfortable enough here. He has not been harassed at the top right. I don't know for an absolute fact that Flash scouted that top right, because Flash was sending units over, but he didn't quite get them all the way there. So I don't know. I thought that Flash might have had that scan off, but that might not be the case. And Jaedong with a nice little victory there, and just doing a good job with presence on the map, kind of keeping Flash from really doing anything with that force. And now that the Mutalisks are out, and we're going to see if the Mutalisks are going to be able to do any sort of harassment and get anything done.
Yeah, and I think Jaedong's just going to use these Mutalisks with the Lings. I don't think he's going to try to do any harassing specifically with the Mutalisks on the main base. Oh, he is coming in, though, with a huge push here with Lings and Mutalisks and not getting the job done there. Medic Marine group cleaning this up really well. And Flash still has a Medic Marine group out in the field here, and Jaedong was looking to take that bottom left base, but he's not going to do it now. He has actually hidden a drone there, though, so he might take it eventually, and it is a double gas in that bottom left position. Now Jaedong is kind of feeling the pressure here. Now that he's lost those Zerglings, I think he feels a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah, he has used some larvae to produce even more Zerglings to come up to the top here and perhaps do a combined attack with this Mutalisk force, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I mean, Flash's Medic Marine ball has been able to just grow and grow and grow, and it's just grown to a point where I think it's like that critical mass that Protoss players reach with Corsairs. It's just that critical mass. You just can't do anything about it unless you get to some kind of different tech. You need Lurkers, you need Defilers, you need Ultralisks or something to go up against this. And Lurkers have not been up yet. We haven't seen any Hydralisks. I haven't seen the Hydralisk den even at this point. But oh, it looks like some of the Flash's reinforcements getting caught in the middle of the field here. But Flash pushing into this third base here. He's going to be able to take down those sunken colonies, and we're going to see if Jaedong's going to be able to clean this up. I don't think he's going to be able to. Flash did not lose. I don't know if he lost maybe lost one or two Marines there to those sunken colonies there, and Flash doing extremely well with his mech here, creating a medic wall with his medics there, not allowing any Zerglings to get in there, so this combined attack here not going to go off very well. However, those Mutalisks were large enough in number that they are going to be able to clean this up, and losing all those medics as well going to be extremely detrimental to Flash's push here. However, Jaedong is still on 3 bases. It is 3-on-2 bases, so Flash is going to be completely okay with this. I think he would prefer, though, to have taken down that base. Obviously, he would prefer to take down that base, but Jaedong, he's used to being on more bases than he needs to be. He's used to being on 4 bases against 2 bases, and again, Flash's force is getting completely cleaned up here. So like I was saying, my predictions somehow finally have come true, where Jaedong is using those forces to clean up the forces of Flash rather than going for that harassment, and that is exactly what he's doing. So Flash completely contained in his base here. We're going to see if he can use that higher tech, perhaps, that he's gained in the meantime to push out here. And again, Flash's forces, though, without medics, somehow Flash getting the job done without medics, now has just a group of Marines. I haven't seen the medic count for Flash. I know he lost a ton out in the middle of that field there, as well as on the front door. So, yeah, there is a bunch of medics there. So Flash going to be able to get the job done here, and a ton of barracks coming out. And he is going for SK Terran, going for those 2 starports with the science vessels pumping out. And the Marines, we haven't seen the upgrades yet. There it is, 1-1 on those Marines. So those Marines are going to be extremely effective, but 2-1 for the Zerglings. So expect to see a skipping of the Lurker tech and going straight into Ultralisk tech.
Yeah, we actually saw the Ultralisk Den going up, and one thing that worries me about right now of what Jaedong is doing is he is going quick tech, but he's on the defensive. There's the scan going down saying there's not much up at that base. I'm not sure if Jaedong saw that, but let me read you real quick what I said about Calm in Game 4, Flash versus Calm in the OSL. These are my notes from that game. Calm went quick tech, Flash steamrolled. Those are my exact notes. So I hope that Flash can pull this off, or that Jaedong can pull this off. I bet money Flash just scanned that bottom left base, because you see this yellow stream, kind of gross, but yellow stream going down there to the bottom left. That base is not going to go up. And one thing that you saw, while Flash tried that attack at the top right, and then kind of soon after that, he's pumping science vessels from 2 starports. He has 4, 5, or 6 barracks up at this point. So Flash is getting into macro mode, and or steamroll mode, I guess, going off of what I said earlier. And Jaedong certainly was effective in stopping the early harassment with the Mutiling combination, but is he going to be effective here once he gets the Ultralisks and Defilers up? We haven't seen Defiler tech and very little desperate Ultralisk tech in the last game to get that going. So we are going with an Ultralisk Ling attack here, assuming with Swarm coming up pretty soon, if he can get Swarm up, because we don't see, there's no tanks being produced at all. Flash is going strictly SK Terran on this one, pumping a bunch of science vessels, getting tons of medic Marines out. The one thing that's to Flash's disadvantage right now is he has not taken out that top right base. I think he kind of had an opportunity about 5 minutes ago when he scanned it, but he hasn't taken it out. So that is going to be the focus of his push there. That is a ton of medic Marines. And with Swarm not out, I'm not sure how well Jaedong is going to be able to handle this. Is he going to pick it off? Wow! Flash losing a science vessel there. Only 1 science vessel, but critically, Jaedong doesn't have any lurkers. So at this point, there's not a huge need for the science vessels other than irradiates, but a huge grouping of Ultralists coming up, sniping the last science vessel as well. No lurkers on the field. Yeah, I was able to get a D-Matrix down. I really wish we'd see a mix of lurkers here from Jaedong. I think that could be a huge effectiveness, because now there's no science vessels, but so what? Science vessels are only going to irradiate, a couple Ultralisks, or maybe throw down a Matrix, as you can see there. 2 more science vessels coming up. That is a huge force. That's got to be maybe 60 medic Marines, maybe even more. But, God, there's probably 20 Ultralisks for Jaedong. So the attack is coming down. There goes the irradiates. There are the 2 irradiates that they have. Ultralisks coming in from behind, and a pincher attack coming in here. And wow, that is just so many medic Marines. And is Flash going to be able to do any sort of wall off? Not really a wall going around, just a buttload of medic Marines. My God, that is so many. Flash kind of semi-committing, I feel, just did not have a lot. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Flash has been macroing this entire time. Jaedong not able to get any sort of attacks or harassment off on Flash. Jaedong actually able to save quite a few of his, but trying to go in for a counterattack, but a beautiful wall. Flashes micro up, bringing in the SCVs. He doesn't even need any tanks guarding this. He just needs his SK eliteness coming here, and that, oh wow, and another expansion that's going to go down here for Jaedong. It doesn't even matter at this point if those science vessels go down. Flash has got such a huge force. Jaedong has a force on the map, but just, I think, unable to macro up enough. Where are the Defilers, Jaedong? Where were the Defiler tech when you needed it? But actually able to catch Flash out of position here a little bit, and able to pick off the line as they were streaming down. So actually not a bad attack. Jaedong is going to be able to clean this up. So Flash with a strong attack, though, able to take out quite a bit, but Jaedong trying to hit the reset button on this game to see if he can get back into it here.
Yeah, and I don't think that at this point that he's going to be able to do it. He is setting up to take that double gas down there at the bottom left, and we did see a lot of forces expended for Flash, but I don't think that that's necessarily going to matter, because the fact that Flash was able to even get that amount of forces up in that short of a time just tells me that he's going to be able to do it again.
Yeah.
He's probably doing that right now. As we did see on the front door there is a ton of medic marines there for Flash, so Flash is just going to be able to push out once again. There it is right there. That bio ball is just going to be able to roll right through, and unfortunately we do see a lot of Ultralisks and Lings out in the field for Jaedong, but he has gone down 2 extra bases, as well, not the mining base down there at the 3 o'clock position, but he went down a mining base at the top right, 3 o'clock, the minerals that went into the 3 o'clock base, as well as now the bottom left that's probably going to get wiped out. I think if the bottom left gets wiped out, then it's going to be GG for in favor of Flash. Flash is throwing up yet another command center, so if Flash can A, take down this hatchery at the bottom left here, or B, set up a command center of his own and go on 3 bases, he's gonna be so well off, and no Defilers as well. I do have to point that out. I think that's the reason actually that Flash skipped all the tank tech, was because Jaedong skipped the Lurker tech as well as the Defiler tech. So here we have just this massive grouping of units on both sides. And unfortunately, though, Jaedong, those Irradiates are going to be the end of him. That's going to be the scale tipper here. He's going to lose those 3 Ultralisks as well as a lot of Lings in the process, and he's going to be forced to run away from that. A Defiler is now in the field, though. However, I don't think the tech's been up long enough for him to have upgraded Consume, not his Canal up. And it looks like Dark Swarm going down there, Dark Swarm going down, but Flash has the control. He's able to back up here, and he's able to just completely slaughter a wave after wave of Ultraling, and he's going to have to back up even more. Tons of Dark Swarm all over the place. He's going to run out, though, eventually, and Flash is just going to find this position here. He's going to be able to stand there, and another Dark Swarm there coming up, and Flash is just going to have to back up even more. However, he's got the forces to be able to just sit here and just wail away at these Ultralisks, and it's up to Jaedong, though. He's going to have to reinforce here, and Jaedong carelessly leaving on Ultralisk outside of the Dark Swarm there, leaving it on hold position there, and consuming a drone there, and coming in with Dark Swarm from behind. He's going to back Flash into this corner here. He needs one more Dark Swarm to go off here to be in the lead here. However, Flash is going to be able to take down these Ultralisks as they come, and losing a lot of Science Vessels here is Flash. Flash somehow has the gas to keep up with all this production of the medics and Marines and the Science Vessels, and he's able to now set himself up to go on 3 bases here. He is floating that command center out, as we can see on the mini-map here, and all these Ultralisks going down here. This is an epic battle in the corner of the map here, and unfortunately Jaedong not able to comfortably take those 2 extra gases there, and yeah, a lot of Irradiates going off on all of these Defilers, and the SVCV Maynard is going off now. Thank you, Diggity, for that word. SCV Maynard going off here, and Flash finally might get cleaned up here, finally.
Nope, here comes the yellow stream of doom. Flash's golden showers of doom coming down from the top of the map. Man, this is really, really intense here. Jaedong is holding on both sides, playing their hearts out, but I think it's Flash's macro that is going to win this in the end. As you said, Jaedong's economy has been crippled. He doesn't have much mining from his bottom left base. He's not going to be able to keep producing Ultralisks, and he is cleaning up this force, but look at the yellow stream coming down again. There's more and more. Flash is macroing. I called Flash macro because that's what he is. Flash is just he is a macro. That's right, he is a macro. Macro is not even a noun, and he is one. Well, I guess macro could be a noun, but it doesn't really matter. Is Jaedong going to be able to clean this up? That is a problem here, and why did my stream just go black?
Oh no.
Did they lose power?
What?
Oh my gosh!
No.
Did
Such
they
bad timing.
did they lose power at the arena?
God.
I
I think the LAN cable from Earth to the moon has like disconnected somewhere along the way.
This is epic, you guys. The network and the power of Korea could not support such an epic game between Jaedong and
God.
Flash. The intensity that was going through the cables, and the chat is absolutely blowing up right now. The epicness going through the cables from one computer to another blew out Korea's power supply. Reach tried to stop it, but was unable to. This is incredible. I have never ever seen or even heard of something like this happening in a game like this, or in any game for that matter. That is wild. Wow. So,
what do you do? What do you do?
Like, what do you do?
What?
Are we gonna have to replay? Well, they're gonna cut to commercial. That's what they're gonna do. Are we gonna replay Game 2? That was crazy. I had no idea who was gonna win. Wow, that's absolutely insane. We'll probably edit this for YouTube, you guys, for whatever happens. God, I don't know how we're gonna post this. Are we gonna post up Game 1.5?
Oh my God.
I am a little bit baffled. I really don't know what to say.
I usually don't regret things, but I'm starting to regret allowing my face to melt in the middle of that game because they frickin' stopped it. What the hell?
Dude.
Oh, that is awful timing. Maybe it was that, no, it couldn't be. I mean, I've heard way back in the day of some, like, hatchery thing where if, like, a hatchery is canceled somewhere on the map, that, like, the game might crash or something like that. But I'm sure there's been, like, a zillion patches since then. But, like, maybe or something crazy.
It looked like the lights went back on. Like, they were showing a view of the arena, and then it looked to me like the lights went back on. Like, there was nothing, and then all of a sudden, I don't know. I mean, so here's what I got to say there is...
Get Troy.
I think... Wait, what? Where's Troy? Is Troy saying stuff?
No, I was just saying he could help us out. I think the commentators are probably talking about it. Oh, never mind. This is a commercial. I'm an idiot. Never mind.
Yeah. Oh, wow, and this is Game 3. Thank you, Forceful Dragon. I think I might have said Game 2 by accident. Again, this is going to get cut out of the actual YouTube stuff, so I'm not super worried. I'll be honest, I think that I think Jaedong could have won that game. I mean, Jaedong, at that point, everything was being focused on that one base, which wasn't being taken out at all. Jaedong was able to defend that. He was getting his other bases mining and ready to go. He had, I think, 4 mining bases at that point. Meanwhile, Jaedong still was off 2 base. I mean, you realize that? Jaedong was still on 2 base, 20 minutes into the game? He had yet to try to move over the command center. He had that command center built and sitting there not doing anything because he wasn't able to take out the bottom left or he did take out the bottom right. But I think Jaedong could have had that. That's my opinion.
Actually, I don't know if Jaedong actually was on 4 bases there.
Was
I know
he?
he had
1, 2.
He had his main and his natural. I was actually scanning the map there, looking for a base in the top right somewhere, but I don't think he actually reestablished anything.
Okay.
Maybe at 3 o'clock, but
maybe it was more even.
I didn't
then.
see anything, and I actually do think that Flash floated that command center out. I saw it in between. Excuse me. I saw it in between bases, and he did transfer the SCV, so I actually do think that he did have that base up, which would have put him in the lead. So I'm actually going to have to disagree with you here, buddy. I think actually Flash might have been able to take that one out. I think he did have that 3rd base up, but, I mean, it's all speculation until we can...
You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop and restart the stream so I can put that video up and we can watch it. So give me 1 second.
All right, perfect.